today's video, we're talking about the Invicta Seahunter, model number 28986. Let's get right into it. Starting off with price, I bought this directly from the Invicta store website for $206 after taxes and shipping. I did use a discount code, which are pretty easy to find. You just gotta go on Google and type in Invicta discount code or coupon code and you'll find something for you. I got a 10% discount. Doing a quick 360, you will soon realize that this thing is absolutely massive. It's kind of hard to explain to you just how large of a watch this is, and we will go over dimensions right now. So looking at just the bezel from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we are looking at a diameter of 58 millimeters, and including the crown at the widest point, we're looking at 70 millimeters. For case thickness, we're looking at 23 millimeters. So that's normally almost 10 millimeters thicker than what the average person is used to on a fairly thick watch. For weight, we're looking at 468 or 66 grams, or 1 pound and 3/8 ounces. So almost 1 pound and a half an ounce. That is just ridiculous. And here is the wrist shot for you, knowing that I have a 7.5 to 8 inch wrist, so a large wrist, and it still looks absolutely massive. Just gives you a good reference of just how large this watch is. Now just going over some features or functions. Starting off, you've got this fantastic 120 click bezel, and really, to be honest with you, this is one of the better quality bezels that I have dealt with before. It's solid, it moves with a purpose, and there's very little backplay, if any at all, and it lines up perfectly as far as I can tell. For the internals, we've got a Seiko NH35 automatic movement, and we are all very familiar with that one. It's a budget-friendly movement, but still reliable and very well known in the watch community. It's kind of hard to see the movement. I'm trying to get the rotor to move for you because the see-through or the display caseback has a propeller blocking the view of the rotor, but I still think that's a pretty interesting design feature. With that NH35 movement, we get a window, a date window right there, which is always a good thing. You've got the white background with the black numbering, making it very easy to see. And of course, a hand winding hacking crown here. It is non-screw down, which apparently the first generation of Seahunters had a screw down crown. This one is not. It's just a regular push-pull crown, but it is protected by this latch here that when you push it in, it locks securely and doesn't jangle, or there's really no risk of it popping out accidentally. You really do have to apply a significant amount of force to get it open, and pushing it in, there's a very satisfying click. On the dial, we have very well done applied indices with Tritonite, and on the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock indices, we have inlaid half-carat diamonds. And you know, diamonds I guess aren't that special anymore, but I think it's a very nice touch. And for the background of the dial, you've got this beautiful reflective blue abalone shell, very similar to mother of pearl. But this is just, I don't want to use the word breathtaking, but I do think that it's very unique, and I've never seen a watch like this before, so I do very much like how they did that. As far as the bracelet goes, we've got this two-tone styling bracelet, and it is very well done. A fantastic milled steel clasp here. And this is where I really think you get the most value from Invicta. I will admit that their internals, so their movements, are not the best. They're always very, I don't want to say low end, but budget friendly, and obviously not the highest quality movements that you can get. But their bracelets, by far, I think, are the best bang for your buck that you can get on the market. And this is a perfect example of that. I'm very pleased with this bracelet, and I mean, it's heavy, so that might be a bad thing for you, but for me, I do very much like it. I do want to mention that when you adjust this bracelet, it is a pin and collar system, but this is probably one of the best executions of a pin and collar system that I've ever seen. So normally pin and collars are very frustrating to deal with because the collar is just this very thin sleeve, normally no longer than 2 millimeters, that you have to place in the center link to put the pin through, and that gives the tension which holds the band together. Now this case, this is the collar, so it's very long. It is much longer than your standard collar, making it much easier to carry, use, and to even just look at visually. Because normally if you get your eyes off of the collar and you put it on your desk, you're going to lose it, and it's just very frustrating. So great job on the pin and collar system. So that about covers the initial review. Now let's just go over my personal thoughts. And let's go over what this watch is and what it is not. Well, going over what this watch is not, first of all, this watch is not practical at all. At 1.5 pounds, which actually it's heavier than that because that measurement was based on the links being removed. But at that weight, this is a very uncomfortable watch to wear. And you can see that I'm wearing it on my right wrist, so that way this huge crown and crown protector isn't digging into the back of my hand. So yeah, practicality is not why you're getting this watch. And also, this watch is definitely not for everyone. So then what is this watch exactly? For me, it's fun, and that is it. As far as quality goes, I've had no issues with it, and it is solid. This construction is like a tank, and to me, that is really one of the beautiful things about it. Yes, it's ungodly large, and it is extremely ridiculous, but that in and of itself is what makes this such a fun and worthwhile piece, in my opinion. Another thing that this watch is quite affordable. At $200, I do think that is a little bit high, but in the history of Invicta, you can very well expect some yellow tag sale and getting some really great deals. And obviously don't get confused by MSRP and retail, because Invicta MSRP is always going to be just astronomically high. So don't even bother paying attention to that. Just focus on what it is actually selling for, and then just wait, and you can rest assured that there's going to be some really great deals compared to retail price. So really, to sum it all up, this is just a fun watch, and it's affordable, so you can have some fun without breaking the bank. And at the end of the day, if you hate it, just return it, and no harm, no foul. But if you end up loving it, then you're not going to regret it, because everything about this watch is just loud, interesting, and it is definitely a conversation starter. Whether it's positive or negative, it'll definitely get some interesting dialogue going. So that's all I got to say for now. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that I can help you with your next watch purchase. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.